Today I'm going to describe Super Mario Odyssey in as much detail as possible. Alright, let's play it. It's a 3D 3D Explorer type world, where you go from one world to another world. Well, actually, in this Mario game, you go from one part of a world to another part of the same world, on a ship that flies through the sky called the Odyssey. So this video game is called Super Mario Odyssey, and on the cover you see Mario throwing his hat, and his hat has eyebrows and eyeballs, and he's throwing his red hat like a frisbee. And the cover, and that's one picture on a cover, and behind him is several other pictures. And on his bottom left is a compass. To the right, bottom right center area is Super Mario Odyssey. So we're gonna click it. We're gonna select our user profile, the Nintendo logo, the basic loading screen with the Nintendo Switch logo on the bottom right. The first screen we see is Super Mario Odyssey. It says, try playing with detached Joy-Con controllers. The motion controllers enable extra options. And below that it says there are other options as well where you can play with the in the handheld mode or with the Pro controller. And the next screen we see is the start. I didn't click anything. It just faded away. That controller option screen faded away, and now we're at the start game option. If we go down one time, it's at the start in assist mode. In this mode, arrows will guide your way and you'll bounce back quickly after a fall. I'm gonna click start in assist mode. It says you can change the game mode at any time from options. Choose mode. On the bottom right it says use the L button to select and the A button to confirm. So we're gonna start in assist mode, and this screen is pretty basic white, maybe like a cream beige color, and once you highlight the options they become white. The start mode is Mario throwing his hat with that eyeballs on it, and the one below that is assist mode. It just has assist mode in characteristically Mario colors with some blue purplish arrows pointing, some dashed arrows pointing the way. So we're gonna start in assist mode. Screen fades to black. In white letters it says, in the skies above Peach's castle. We see Bowser and Mario fighting. Bowser has a white suit, tuxedo suit with a white top hat. He has now launched the fireball directly at Mario, and Mario dodges it. The fireball disappears into the sky. We see Bowser's ship flying in the sky. It's ironclad, and there's purple decorations all around. He laughs. This is the end for you, he says, and he throws his hat at Mario, and Mario's hat flies into the sky. And Bowser's hat returns like a boomerang and launches Mario off the ship. Peach shouts Mario as she reaches her hand away. Mario's hat floats down in front of Bowser and he steps on it. This is time for my wedding with Peach, he says as he holds Peach with his left hand. Peach grabs her ears and says no. Mario's hat is whisked away off the ship. As the ship soars into the sky, his hat is shredded by its propellers. The ship is headed towards the moon, A ghost grabs what's left of Mario's hat. What we see now is our friend Mario. He has blue overalls and he's laying face down in the dirt. A white phantom with a white hat, a white top hat, is floating around Mario. Mario has brown hair and it's pretty short. He looks like this game is made look like it's out of toys. A lot of real smooth everything on this game is very smooth. For example, if there are any creases on his hair, they're perfect creases. His shoes are very shiny brown, and the noise you hear is the ghost pestering Mario to wake up as he sleeps face down on the ground. Mario has a very large nose, and he has a pronounced mustache right under it that extends from ear to ear almost. He has sideburns and no beard, so he's well shaven, and he has a red long sleeve shirt with white gloves. It's telling me press the B button to jump, but before that it was telling me to move around with the right cursor. The world is pretty unique. Far off in the distance, in the background, we see buildings with hats on them, with top hats on them, waving in the distance. But those don't matter because that's essentially just the background. I can see a yellow moon, and I see a silhouette of a ship flying in the sky above what appears to be a cylindrical building with a hat-like object on the top, a black one. There's a couple hills around me, and some of these hills have fog built up between them that seems to be moving in different ways, almost like water. So we're gonna see what it's telling us to do. Hit the B button to jump. So I'm gonna hit the B button. Shows Mario look left and right like he's gonna fight, and he startles the ghost, and the ghost runs away. The arrows are telling us to go towards where the ghost is, which is on top of a little hill. So we're gonna do that. That's the sound Mario makes when he runs. He runs, he extends both arms out on either side, and he whips them back and forth as he runs. Very comical. The ghost runs away from us as we reach the top of the hill. The ghost has an exclamation point above him. There are frogs to the right with little tiny top hats on. And the ghost continues to run away as he crosses a bridge. Now we see another ghost, very identical to the one that we're chasing, but this one has a black top hat on. And he asks us, who are you? And I'm just gonna keep on walking by. And then another ghost with a round soldier top hat, like an old school soldier, but it's black, brown. You're not one of them, are you? He asking us. And on his top hat, you see his there's green eyeballs embedded into the top hat. And now we see our white top hat ghost friend holding the shredded Mario hat. He has a blue fringe of hair in the center. He says, "So sorry for running away like that. You startled me, and I do startle easily. I saw what happened earlier. You've been through quite the ringer," he says. He has red eyeballs on his top hat. And he has a short tail that's almost flame-like. And he says, "You landed in the Cap Kingdom. We've been under attack by the same Bowser monster that gave you such a trouncing? And Bowser, the word Bowser is just an emoji of Bowser's head. And to make matters worse, the fiend has kidnapped my little sister. And as he said that, Mario's eyes opened up. Mario's eyes are really blue in this game. The next scene shows Bowser laughing as he holds our ghost friend's little sister. I'd hope to give chase to that Bowser monster in a ship of my own. As the scene returns to our friend Cap and Mario talking. Early in that scene, it showed Bowser. In his left hand, he had our friend Cap's little sister, and in his right hand, he had Peach. And it looks like he squeezed the ghost little sister, and she reappeared next to Peach, and Bowser was laughing, almost like he was bullying them. Cap turns around and he sees his destroyed kingdom. Unfortunately, all of our airships were wrecked in the attack, and you can see his little town. It's not so much a kingdom, just a little small town with a couple buildings that are just caps, like hats, just huge hats for buildings with windows on them. And there's little mountains, little sticks sticking out of the ground, a couple crates. Not a very large town. Mario looks around and shakes his head. Although, now that I think of it, I'm fairly certain there's a functioning ship in the next kingdom over, they say. I could get us there if only I could reach the top of Top Hat Tower, which is being guarded by the Bowser monster's henchmen. And it shows far off in the distance the ship that we see flying above that tower with the top hat on it. In the background is the moon, a yellow moon. You know, it seems we're after the same thing. Perhaps we should team up. Let's see if we can help those two. And it said, between those and two, it shows a little emoji picture of his little sister and Peach. Is that his little sister or his wife? It's one or the other. Mario reaches at his hat and notices his hat is gone. The cap twirls around in a little motion and lands right on top of Mario's head. The cap says, "Not your style?" Earlier, the cap was being flown about with a ghost white flame-like object in the place of where a head would be, and it was just floating. The cap would be floating. Now the flame-like spirit-like object of the hat has disappeared. The eyes stay on the hat, and now the hat is on Mario's head. And the hat is saying, "Not your style," he says as he looks down with his red eyes. How about this? The hat flies up. You can see the hat like ghost, and then it twirls around and becomes Mario's red signature hat. Mario throws it and it comes back in a boomerang-like fashion. We see the eyes on Mario's hat appear, and it blinks. It says, "Cappy is now your companion." Our hat's name is Cappy, and it's red. It's really like a old school, it's not so much a baseball hat, like the part that covers your hair on a baseball hat. That's a lot poofier. It's not really like on your head. It's more, it gives some space between your hair and the hat. But it has the actual brim of a baseball, but maybe a little bit shorter than a baseball cap. So now Cappy is our new companion, which is awesome. The next it says try throwing me with Y. And it says try throwing Cap. You can also shake the Joy-Cons to throw, which is cool. So if I throw with the Y, Mario spins around, and as he finishes his spin, he launches Cappy forward. Cappy spins a couple times at his furthest point, and then he comes back. As Cappy spins, there's yellow things that come off Cappy to make it look like he's spinning really fast. All right. So here's what our UI looks like. On the top left, we see how many coins Mario has, based on the fact that there's a coin on the left side of the bar. But on the right side of the bar, and this is all in the top left corner, we see a hat icon with 3 digits, and the 3 digits are zeros. So, and same thing with the coins that we've collected. And under this is a solid white line. On the right top part of the screen, we see a health bar, a green health bar with 6 segments. It's a circle. Inside the circle is a white heart with the number 6 on it. Below that is the menu button, which you will activate by hitting the plus, and the map button, which you will activate by hitting the subtraction or the negative button. Below that is a north facing compass. So it doesn't show you north, south, east, west. It shows you just north. And in the bottom right corner of the screen, it says assist mode. The words assist are colored in red is the A, green is the S, yellow is the S, I is blue, S is red, and T is green. So it's like really Mario-y colors mode. So it's assist mode, so everybody knows it. I haven't touched the left joystick, so it shows Mario sleeping. I guess Mario will do some random things if you don't move around. And it just shows Mario with both hands underneath his head as his head is pointed towards the sky with one leg over the other. Looks like his knee is bent. The bottom knee is bent with one leg over the other. And there's a ghost bird, or maybe it's just a white bird. It doesn't have to be a ghost. Jumping on his nose, and it has a top hat. The bird has a top hat and it has a yellow beak. Very small bird. Alright, so I'm gonna go figure out what's going on by following the arrows. And the arrows diverge at a, is it a rotunda? It's like a, like if you're going down the road and then you have to turn, like a roundabout. But there's only one way to get out of this, there's only one exit. It's on the far side. As I reach the far side, I see a little ghost creature. It says, "My airship, my beautiful airship, ruined." I keep following the blue arrows. Are you headed for Top Hat Tower? The entrance is up ahead, says another ghost. I've reached a couple platforms that I have to climb up. One platform is twice as, it seems like every platform here is as tall as one Mario. So Mario can jump right over that platform, and the next platform is just as tall as one Mario. But it's to the right. And then the next platform builds on top of the one platform we just jumped on. So you gotta jump on that one. And then this one is a little bit taller than just one Mario, maybe one Mario and a half. And around this platforms that we're jumping on is now a bridge. We just landed on a bridge, and this bridge has a switch at the end of it, and the very end of the bridge has no more railing. Throughout this entire level, there has been railing on the edge of the kingdom. That is a very small kingdom. You can see it. If I was gonna give it a real life size, this kingdom would probably be about 3 or 4 acres. And there's a couple of boxes laying around. I'm gonna try to see if I can smash one of these boxes up by throwing my cap at it. If I throw my cap at one of these crates twice, it'll break. And if the crate has another crate on top of it, I'm able to break it with just one throw. As I broke the last crate, a bunch of birds seem to have flown out of it. It's kind of weird. But I'm going to activate the switch by throwing my cap at it. Cappy landed on the switch and knocked it towards me. A snake-like bridge that goes up and down. But it's stationary, so it's not constantly going up and down, but it goes down. It goes down and up, down and up. Has appeared from out of the mist that surrounds this floating kingdom. I believe it's a floating kingdom because it's in the clouds. So I'm going to cross this bridge. What odd little fellows. They seem to know you and then not like you. There's yellow Goombas that are trying to, there's 3 yellow Goombas that spotted me as soon as I reached the end of the bridge. And they're wiggling their way towards me. I'm going to throw a hat at them. And I defeated all 3 of them. As I reached once I crossed the bridge, I reached a little landing area where the Goombas were, destroyed them, and at the end of that is another platform. But between the platform and the landing, or pretty much on the landing but close to the platform, is some plants. I'm going to throw my hat at the plants, and I made those plants red and flower and start shaking, and now it's gone. They're back to being a green plant. So I'm gonna do that to both sides again, see if I can actually do anything. Because there's 3 green plants on either side, but once I throw my hat and I'm able to rub the hat as I throw it over the plants, they activate red and flower. So it goes from being like a seedling type plant to a blooming red plant, like a flower. So I'm going to do that very quickly on the right side and the left side. So I did that very quickly, and a red heart appeared between both flanks of flowers, which are now staying red. They almost look like I think they're called pansies. Very simple red flowers. And a red heart appeared, but my health is full at 6 hearts, it appears, so it gave me 8 coins. Now I have 8 coins as my total in the top left. So now I'm going to jump on top of this platform. And I see surrounding a door that has a hat. It's a red door. The red door has a yellow hat on it, like embroidered on it. And this door is encased around a white hat. So there's hats all over, like it's a hat themed party. Surrounding this door are posters of Bowser holding Peach. Bowser has a white hat on. It's a white top hat, and there's a black band around the brim. Between the brim and the top hat part, there's like a black band, and it has like a metal element to it with Bowser's with a Bowser emblem up front. Bowser is green skinned. He has a yellow lower part of his face He has red eyebrows, red hair, and you know, he's holding Peach, and she's wearing a white wedding dress. Bowser has purple, like not a tie, but like fringes on his like a bow tie type thing. I'm not sure what it would be called. And he has on spikes on his wrists. And his nails are very sharp. And that's just from looking at these posters, which are all over the around the door and stuff. If I throw my hat at the poster, I wipe the poster off the wall and I get 1 coin. So now I'm gonna go into the door. I can't push the door because it'll show Mario just pushing the door and nothing happens. So I'm gonna try throwing my hat at it and it opens the door right up. It saves the game, and it shows that by on the lower left hand side it says saving game with a looks like a recycling charging thing. Once we're in here, we see well, the very background is just a lot of waving black lines, essentially. Looks like energy cold lines or something, with a couple of yellow slit windows. It's got about 6 or 8 surrounding this entire place, which is not big at all. The arrows are pointing forward. This seems like a cold level. The arrows are pointing forward. It seems like it's snowing a little bit in here. And we are on a little path towards a water. This is like a little pool. It has 3 blocks on the pool that have coins, 4 coins on each corner. On my right hand side is a question mark block, a brick block, and another question mark block. Just not even floating up in midair, just on ground level. On the far side, on the far side of the pool is 3 frogs hopping really high. Like I'm talking 5 times as high as Mario is tall. So I'm gonna knock the question mark block, and we're gonna cross this little pond, the cold looking pond. Every time I hit the question mark block, I get 1 more coin. And I was able to knock it, and now I have 16 coins. I'm gonna knock the other question mark block as well. Now I have 24 coins. I'm gonna knock the brick block in the middle. I was only able to get 1 coin out of that, so now I'm at 25. Now the arrows are telling me to go into the water, take a right, and cross this cold water. If I hit the B button, I'm able to swim. And I'm also able to jump in the water. By swimming, it means Mario can go right down to the bottom, start essentially walking on the bottom while he moves his hands in front of him in a swimming-like motion. I reach the far side. Now Mario is treading water. Cappy says, that ledge is awfully high. I know. Try throwing me. Or something like that. So I'm gonna... The ledge isn't that high. I was able just to easily jump that. Alright, so now this ledge... Oh, that's what he was referring to. Once we reach the far side, we're gonna have to throw Cappy at the frog. So we're gonna... Because there's no way we can jump as high as this next ledge is. Because once we reach the far side where the frogs are at, there's another ledge that we have to, platform we have to get to, and it's about 3 times as tall as Mario can jump. So maybe we need to throw Cappy at the heads of one of these frogs. Just for side note, whenever Mario jumps on a wall, he slides down the wall with his hand on the wall. Pretty cool. Like so if he's close to the wall, he'll jump, and if you keep pointing your joystick towards the wall, that's the sound it'll make, because he's sliding down it by putting his hand on it and his foot on it. So I'm gonna throw Cappy at a frog. The frog seems to have been possessed and is now standing still. Mario becomes an energy beam and is shot into the sky and then lands right into a frog. The next thing we see is Mario. It looks like he's swimming around inside some kind of frog process thing. And you see a frog in the background, and now we see the eyeballs, some eyeballs opening up and looking around. We see Mario in frog form. It says you've captured a frog, and it shows the frog emoji. It shows Mario as a frog. He's literally a frog with a tiny little mustache and cappy on his head. The exact same frogs we just saw jumping around, but now it has a little mustache. Green frogs with yellow feet and round pads at the very tips of each finger on its foot. It was hilarious seeing Mario open his eyes as a frog and looking at his yellow frog hands, and he was shocked. As I go forward, you see the frog. He's jumping instead of like walking like a normal, I guess like a normal frog would walk. I don't know. This one's just hopping. And if you hold it real hard forward, he'll hop like a normal frog. And he jumps incredibly high. And I'm able to collect 3 rings that were floating. Now I'm able to climb past this platform. And the arrow's telling me now that I've made it to this platform, I need to go up onto another platform. Which the frog easily jumps. And it collects 3 more as I land on top of another platform. And I see a couple yellow Goombas. There's about 6 of them here. And now at the top of this, at this platform, there is another water pool of water with a square platform on it, a round platform on it, and a tall rectangular platform. I'm going to ignore all of those and follow the arrows as it points to the far side wall, and I jump, easily jumping that other platform, which is a rectangular platform cut out of a box. So it's like, let's say we have a cube, and I have a rectangle cut out. So I put the rectangle cutout onto the box, and I push it down, right? And I push it down until about halfway down the box, and then I cut it right there, and I remove everything I just cut out. That's where I just landed, if that had a platform on it. And now I'm gonna jump to the left of that box, but not to the top part. We're gonna jump onto another platform, and onto another platform, and now we're onto a small little platform that's really, no, it's not that skinny. It's about 5 frogs wide and about 5 frogs long. But it was pretty tall. So now I gotta jump this one more time, and I think I'm gonna be at the top of this little platform. Well, it's not even a platform, it's like a little tower that I'm inside. And I was correct. But at the right, I see a door at the very top right here. And it says press ZL to return to more normal. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. And me and the frog separate. The frog has a couple of stars flying about its head, like it was dazed and confused, and then the frog disappeared into a cloud, and that means the frog is gone. At the top of the tower where I just made it to, there's 3 boxes and a treasure chest up in a cubby hole to the right of the door, so I'm gonna go check it out. Treasure chest. I'm gonna throw my hat at the treasure chest, and a heart appears. This heart is it's a red heart that has yellow gold on the border of it, and it's pivoting at the bottom tip. It also has a 4-pointed crown on top, and it has 2 black little tiny eyeballs that are like dashes. And if I throw my hat at the heart, nothing happens. I have to touch the heart, which I did by just jumping up. And that gave me 3 more, maybe, I guess those are lives, because now I have a 3 segmented circle that's blue, that's slightly over and slightly to the left of the green segmented circle that was there earlier. But now, instead of seeing 6 on my heart, I see 9. So maybe I got more lives now. And now I'm gonna throw my hat at the door, and I'm gonna walk through it. And it's saving the game. The next scene shows us at the top of the tower that we saw at the very, very beginning of this this little town. So it's pretty much a hat, a black top hat, and on the brim of this top hat is a couple of little houses that are also top hats that have windows on them. That's the only reason I know that they're houses. The arrow is telling me to make a right around the top hat to make my way to the top. It seems once I make it all the way around the top hat's brim, there are some step-like platforms that I can climb to reach the top of the hat, of the top hat, the main top hat that all the other top hats are living on. And on top of the top hat, there is a ship that looks like it's riding around in reverse or something. No, it's just a normal ship flying in the sky, like an old school pirate ship. It has a wind sail that's pretty weird. It looks really like a very simple cartoony ship, and on it we can see because from Mario's perspective we can see quite a bit. We see I guess 4 or 5 different bunnies with different hats on standing on top of the ship. So we're gonna get started, move the camera around, and we see a tiny flag that's about twice as tall as Mario with the picture of Bowser. It's like a pirate flag, but instead of a what are those called? Johnny something? The skull and crossbones. It has a black and white image of Bowser's head. And once we touch it, it is replaced by an M for Mario on a red flag. And it said reach top hat tower once we activated the flagpole. You see a ghost says that Bowser monster has ruined everything. And then another ghost says bad days do happen, but you'll have to keep a stiff upper brim. And then another ghost says, can't you do something to help us? Another ghost says, who could be responsible for this? I'm so scared, I can hardly move. Oh, now I see a tiny little lamp on the ground with an arrow pointed at the top of it. I wonder what'll happen if I throw my hat at it. It turned it on. Apparently, once you throw your little hat at these little lamps that are strewn about between houses, and I've seen these lamps everywhere. I didn't know I could activate them by throwing my hat at them. And they turn on the lights. Pretty cool. I just found 3 lights I can turn on. I bet you this is probably a significant part of the game or something by turning on all these lights. I might be super wrong. That Bowser monster's long-eared henchmen are still on Top Hat Tower. I say, do be careful. And and I've reached the far side of the top hat, and I thought this was like a black felt, but it's actually like black grass. So I reached the opposite side of top hat from where I entered, and there's like a little knoll, like a little tiny hill, and on top of the hill there's a little bridge, a little pathway that goes up the side of the top hat, but it's attached to the side of the top hat, so it goes up in a coil like pattern, like a spring. So it's not really steps, it's more like a ramp. And once I reached the top of this little hill, a lot of coins appeared, but I lost them. Because once you stand around for too long, the coins will disappear. And I reached the top of the top hat, and I see the pirate ship floating above us. That's the noise of its propellers. It has a hilarious looking crew on top. They look like little tiny bunnies with their bunny tails sticking out from their trouser pants. But at the top of this top hat is a little white pad, so I'm gonna land on the pad. I jumped on the pad, and now we see the ship doing a U-turn. Close up with the ship, and now we see the bunny creatures. There's 4 bunny creatures here. One is how could I describe this easiest? One has a purple round hat. The other has a green top hat with spikes in it, and the other one had spikes in his hat too. Another one has a yellow farmer's hat type of thing, like a southerner's hat or something. I'm really not sure. And the other one is a girl who has a side, like a ornamental hat on the top left corner of her head. The girl also has on a purple dress, and the bottom part of her dress is pink. She has on purple gloves, and her yellow hair is stylized in a ponytail that reaches all the way down to the back of her knees, I believe. The one with the southerner type hat does he have glasses on? I believe he has glasses on. He's the tallest of the bunch. He has on a like he folded up his long sleeve button up to his elbows. He has a red bow tie, and he has on orange pants held up by some overalls, and he has long droopy ears that go down and reach about his mid-back. The one with the green hat is standing in the front. He has a green bow tie, green sweater or oak top coat, and green pants. And the first one I described with the purple hat that has a couple spikes in it, he has orange hair, and he's smiling really big, like he has a huge open smile, and you can see his tongue inside his mouth. And he has 2 buck teeth, like they all do, but you can really see his buck teeth because his tongue is in the background. They all have white fur, and our purple friend over here has not like a tie, but he has like a fringe, like a toilet paper. It looks like he put toilet paper where you're supposed to put a tie, but that's an actual thing. I forget what it's called, like a fringe like thing. So it says, so these guys pull up their ship right to where Mario got onto the white platform. They pulled up their ship right next to it, and they say, "Hey, the Bowser boss warned me there'd be a fella with a mustache coming along. Guess we ought to introduce ourselves. We're the wedding planners for the happy Bowser emoji and Peach emoji couple. They call us the Brutals. And between duh and brutals, there's an emoji of every one of the creatures I just described. Every one of the bunnies. The brutals say, "We got that." And there's a picture of Cappy's little sister or his wife. "We got that emoji. Treasure we need. We need it, so we ain't got no more business in these parts." Of course, roughing up goody two-shoes meddlers was in the contract, so I guess we still got a little work to do. And the green rabbit creature jumps, and 3 hats appear on top of his hat. A blue force field appears around the white platform that Mario jumped on. And this looks like this is a boss. So our first boss is the green one. He's got 3 top hats, and it looks like I'm just running away from him in circles right now. And he just jumps face first on the ground, and yeah, he jumps face first on the ground, just spins around so fast. And now he got dizzy because he did it 3 times. And if I whacked him with my hat 3 times, I whacked him with my hat 3 times because he's got a hat on. I'm trying to do all this when everything's going on. And then I got him really tired. So once he got really tired, I whacked him one more time with my hat, you know, I can throw Cappy, and that made him sit down without any hat on. And I got the feeling like I could jump right on top of him. So I jumped on top of him, and that made those 3 hats like attack everything in a they would bounce off the walls like pool balls. They would just do that over and over, and they would bounce off each other, and I had to avoid them the entire time. So now that he got dizzy, I hit him with my cap 3 times, and now there's a red arrow above the bunny, above our green bunny friend, and I jump right on top of him for the 2nd time. Now he spins around, very dizzy on one leg, and lands on his back. He explodes in a bunch of different stars, and now a electrical pole appears in the middle of the platform, or off the middle of the platform. "Most impressive," says Cappy. Now I gotta start focusing on reading what Cappy tells me. So now an electrical platform appeared in the middle of, I've got an idea. "Jump up and throw me on that thing." That's what Cappy says. As soon as Cappy says something, I'm gonna have to stop saying anything and do it. Now a little instructional appeared down below, and it says, "Press Y in midair to do a jump throw." And it shows Mario in a white background throwing Cappy as he jumps, or as he reaches the top of his jump. And that was like a little tiny, movie in the bottom right corner of the screen. So I'm gonna do that. This electrical line seems to be reaching a far off destination, like some blue, because everywhere else in the background is black and gray, and this electric line seems to be touching the only color in the horizon. So I'm gonna jump and throw my cap at the electrical pole. At the top of the electrical pole is a yellow ball that seems to be radiating and almost pulsating with yellow, so it'll get brighter yellow, almost white, and then it'll go back to normal yellow. And around the top, very close to the top of the electrical pole is a lightning bolt. Also, as soon as I threw my hat on as soon as I did the jump and I threw my hat on it, Mario became the top ball, the yellow ball that was pulsating energy. I think Mario just became that ball, because now the hat is on top of that thing, and it quadrupled or quintupled in size. So now it's a pretty big volleyball type thing, and now it has electricity shooting out of it, very sparky, very pointy edges. And it says move with the L joystick, and I did. And our entire UI disappears, and it shows Mario going towards that blue city in the distance, and the Super Mario Odyssey logo appears as the camera pans upward slightly and looks at the yellow moon. The screen goes black, and we are now seeing something called the Cascade Kingdom, Fossil Falls. It shows an island, I believe, like an island full of waterfalls. Next scene shows Mario flying through the electric line, and he bursts through the electric lines and lands face first onto grass. Our first power moon, as it shows at a couple different parts of the island. Whoa, what a ride! And we made it to the Cascade Kingdom. In the background of the Cascade Kingdom, because in front of us we see Mario and Cappy talking, we see a Triceratops skeleton with a waterfall coming out of it. Really incredible sight. There's some white clouds in the background, blue skies, and the grass is green. There's a lot of brown, like the side of platforms and stuff are all brown, but you really can't see platforms. They look more like just land that you have to climb up to, and little ramps and stuff. Sorry, still a bit amped up from capturing a power line. Must collect myself. And the text is shaking a little bit. There should be an old airship somewhere around here. Let's see if we can't find it, says Cappy as he does a little spin. And he transforms back into Mario's hat. In the foreground, I see a couple of dragonflies flying around. Alright, I think I've done quite a bit today. Thanks a lot, and keep this project running. I'm gonna hit the save button. Let me see if we can find the save button in the menu. I'm hitting the plus button. Let's check out what the options are. If we hit the plus button and go up on the D-pad once, we're at the options, and we can change the mode. There's data management, controls, and language settings. Let's see if there's any good controls. There's a camera sensitivity, horizontal, vertical, use motion controls, and motion sensitivity. Those are all for camera controls. HD rumble controls, it says use rumble strength and strength. Map controls, it says open map, not with Joy-Con sideways. It's currently off. And network, it says balloon world notifications. So not really many accessibility options, which is notorious with Nintendo games. So alright, I'm just gonna click save, which is above the options menu in the pause option, in the pause menu. So I'm gonna hit save, and its saving logo appears right in the middle, and it says saved. So thank you, and catch you next time.